Before this video begins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And also, make sure to check out my affiliate links in the description below so you can get discounts on different car mods and products. Let's get into the drive. Hello and welcome. Today we are driving a 2008 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. And this is a beige model. I would like to thank Newport Speed Shop and Soda Motors, located in Newport, Rhode Island, for allowing me to drive this vehicle. Their link is in the description below. This Crown Vic has 35% tint on the windows and is powered by a 4.6-liter naturally aspirated V8. This is a 2-valve single overhead cam engine, producing 250 horsepower and 297 pound-feet of torque. It is a rear-wheel drive vehicle with a 4-speed automatic, achieving 17 miles per gallon. This vehicle is currently for sale with about 639 hours idle and 120,000 miles. This rides on 17-inch wheels, which are steel, so that you could hammer them out if they ever got damaged, versus like an alloy wheel today, and they ride on 235 tires. These are also government-issue tires. You can't get these on civilian vehicles, unless it is a former police one. And they also have Kevlar inside of them, and sometimes run flat. This does have 4-wheel disc brakes all around and can tow 1,500 pounds. These are very reliable drivers, and they essentially be an alternative to a Camry if you really don't care what you drive. I don't know if you want to look like an ex-cop driving one, but they're really cool. They have a 5.6-inch ground clearance and a double wishbone suspension, along with a heavy-duty extra transmission cooler. Alright, and let's take this for a ride. First thing you notice, you do have a column shifter in here, which is interesting, so we'll put it into drive. I've never driven one of these, but this is one of my dream cars. I'm a weird person. I love Crown Vics, and I want one in my life. So let's see. Okay, so off the line, it's not that torquey. It's not terrible, but it's just nothing too impressive yet. It drives pretty smooth overall. Like, it doesn't have the smoothest ride. It definitely has a bit of a stiffer, heavy-duty suspension. But overall, so far, I kind of like it. It just feels very secure driving it. So the funny part about a Crown Vic is they actually have the same chassis and frame as a Ford F-150 truck of the time. That's how heavy-duty this is. It runs on a truck platform. It's called the Panther platform, and it's shared with the Mercury Grand Marquis, Mercury Marauder, and Lincoln Town Car of the time, along with fully civilian models of this Ford Crown Victoria. But in here you do get all the heavy-duty touches and police upgrades. As for the brake pedal, it has a decent travel distance. It's easy to get used to. The seats themselves, they are cloth, very heavy-duty cloth, and they are mostly power. For the driver's seat, you do get power lumbar, and they're mostly manual, but you do get power lumbar support in the driver. So let's see. Well, that was all wheel spin right there. That was awesome. So there's actually no traction control inside of here. That's how heavy duty these vehicles are. All that was tire spin. It didn't do anything to impede it. That was great. As for wind noise in here, it's not impressive. It's a little bit noisy in here. Tire noise is relatively subdued, surprisingly, due to it having very knobby tires, but it's okay. Really not too bad over bumps. It's a stiff ride, don't get me wrong. For the steering feel, it's actually pretty light, surprisingly, but they're pretty direct to the road. You can kind of feel what they're doing. So driving this around at highway speeds, I'm almost at highway speeds. I'm at about 50. It's not too bad to drive, but it's a bit not bouncy, but yeah, you definitely do feel all the bumps through here. This is not aiming to ride very smooth. This is aiming to be as heavy duty and last as long as humanly possible. Some of these cars are used as taxis over in New York City, and some of them have 300, 400,000 miles problem-free. So they're very impressive vehicles. The 4-speed right now is at pretty low RPM, 1400, but once we get up to real highway speeds in a moment, it'll definitely stay pretty high up, because with only 4 gears, it's not going to be very efficient at choosing. Let's see. You do not get a soft touch blinker in here. I don't think you would be expecting that anyway, but you definitely don't get it in here. You have to click it on and off yourself. These cars are extremely heavy. Even going into this, there's a lot of body roll. Even though this is not an overly tall vehicle, it does ride at stock height right now, but it definitely feels pretty tall, just in cornering. Even with the stiffer suspension, it's not too bad, but there's definitely a lot of body roll. This is not going to be a mainly handling based car. And right at this late, I'll do a little bit of a hard acceleration. I'm not going to go up to 60 yet, but we'll see if it likes to keep the tires. Okay, it does not. It most definitely does not. That is crazy. I can spin the tires at a moment's notice. This is just so funny to me. I desperately want one of these cars in my life. I hope I can create content with one way down the line on the channel. And with it being rear-wheel drive, this can be a very fun car if you really have the skills to go do donuts or essentially drift. These would be very fun in the snow. I'm up here in the Northeast, and there are very, very many snowstorms that hit here at certain points in the winter. So, yeah, that could be cool. A lot of kids like to get these cars. Currently, I definitely gave away I wasn't a cop by spinning the tires back there. But, I don't know, I haven't noticed anything yet of anyone driving differently around me. We'll go on the highway now, though, and I kind of want to test that left lane theory, I call it, where most drivers will get the heck out of the way of this car once they see it is an ex-cop car. This isn't beige, though, and it doesn't have a push bar or spotlights, so I don't know how much people are going to react to me any differently, but I really want to test it. I'm not going to go at insane speeds, but I just want to see if I can own the left lane, if everyone's going to move over for me or not. It's always been a funny thing I'd like to try. I won't be at impersonation levels or anything like that. I can't, like, pull up on people and scare them. That is a felony. But, yeah, I can just drive. Ooh, Supra, Mark IV Supra. Awesome. That is beautiful. Wow. Very nice. Let's see. This is a beautiful Supra in front of me. Wow. Wonder what the specs are on that thing. Sounds great, too. That's very nice content. Love that. And after this guy, let's hop into the left lane and see if anyone treats me any differently. Visibility is great in here due to it being so boxy. The engine sounds pretty good, but it's actually not all that loud. At normal speeds, it's not too bad. So I'm going about 70 right here. Wind noise is pretty heavy, but tire noise is basically really very low, so that's impressing me so far. This has some pretty aggressive tread on the tires, and so far it's impressed me. The wind noise is certainly not impressive, though. It's only typical single pane glass in here. Definitely not focused on sound deadening when they created this car, but that's all right. It doesn't take bumps all that badly, though. It's very busy today, so we'll see whether people are really going to have room to move out of the left lane, but we shall see. I love that V8, that punch. You do feel it, it's naturally aspirated. You can feel when you get right on or off, you go forward or back a little bit. It likes to tug. Alright, so that highway got far too congested, but I can try it on this one. So it seems like so far everyone's giving me a lot of space, understandably. If you can see in the rear view, everyone's backing far off. So a lot of people do think this is a cop car, which I think is amazing. Unfortunately, there's nearly no one in the left lane here, so I can't really test my left lane theory all that effectively. But we'll see. I'll see if I can get on some side streets. Alright, one thing I do notice is I'm watching the people in the left lane, and they are not coming anywhere close to me. So apparently they do think I'm a cop, which is awesome. Yeah, they're all pacing me. They'll go as fast as I go, but so far they're not going any faster, so it's very, very funny to me. And returning back to regular traffic, let's see. Let's see if anything changes. And let's test this cornering. Oh, massive body roll, wow. But it stayed secure and flat, so that's okay. For the interior in here, it is one of the most utilitarian I've ever sat in. It actually has rubberized flooring, among many other features. It does have air conditioning, which is nice, but there's no cruise control in here, to name one thing. And the original radio header in here, it actually had a cassette player in 2008. They were still putting cassette players in new cars, so that's how old-fashioned this vehicle is. They really didn't change much from about 1997 all through 2011. They added some power to the engine and some more airbags, but overall it was about the same vehicle for a long time. And cruising in regular traffic, I don't notice too much, but I notice people are keeping their great distance from me. Another person in my rear view, they are giving me multiple car lengths of space so that they don't bump who they suspect is a cop. It's an ever-expanding space cushion. I love that. Wow. Yeah, so even though these aren't really in commission anymore, or in they're still in commission to an extent, but they're not in production, people still treat them as real police cars, because I know a lot that are still in service around here. So there are still many districts that use them. The brakes in here are surprisingly adequate. They really they're not too bad. They do a good job. And then the other fact is just that so few people are insane car people. They just know what a cop car looks like. They don't know whether it's a Ford Taurus is the newer one, or a Dodge Charger, or of course the Ford Explorer, which overtook almost the entire fleet to date. But overall, a lot of people don't pay that much attention. So if this looks remotely like a cop car, which of course it very much does, a lot of people are going to treat it that way. So you still get a lot of road presence driving this. It's pretty powerful to be on the road with one of these, both literally and figuratively, because this is a massive vehicle weighing at almost 4,000 pounds in a cornering weight. It is ridiculous. This is a very, very heavy vehicle. Weight savings and reduction were not ever on the priority list, so they really just made a car that could be a cop car. That's where it ended. They didn't focus on making it light, efficient, or anything else. This guy is very much over the line. But I truly do enjoy driving this so far. Even with the 4-speed, it's pretty okay to drive at highway speeds, at normal speeds. It's a little bit grabby though. That can be fun, but it can be a little annoying. Like, you'll be on, off, and it's very apparent whether you're on or completely off the pedal, without even taking into account how much force or power you're really trying to put into it. And right here, let's actually do a 0 to 60 run. And there's 60. So yeah, it ain't anything too impressive, because mainly due to the tire squeal and all that stuff. But once it gets going, it's not too bad. It's a pretty linear power band. It actually gets a little torquier at higher speeds, which is nice, versus in some lower torque vehicles. Alright, that'll just about do it for this POV drive of a Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to both Soda Motors and Newport Speed Shop for allowing me to review this car and drive it. Their link is in the description below. And make sure to check out my review of this exact Crown Vic. See if the back end would get happy. It would not. Not right there. Alrighty, thank you for watching, and take care.